Please don't tell you saw me. I'll get into terrible trouble.
Since being forced to break up with Camilla, Charles had been dating several girlfriends one after another, but unfortunately, not a single one could settle down. At this moment, he was driving to his new girlfriend Sarah Spencer's house, whose family background was equally prominent. As soon as they stepped into the villa, the butler informed them that Sarah had a phone call, so Sarah asked Charles to wait in the hall for a while. Soon, a little girl came out, saying she was rehearsing a play, and couldn't be seen by anyone. Charles smiled and said he hadn't seen anything, but when she moved, he couldn't help commenting on her clothes.
It's quite a costume.
The little girl was startled. She explained she was rehearsing A Midsummer Night's Dream. Charles said he liked it too, and the two began to chat. During the conversation, Charles couldn't help leaning forward to see what the girl looked like. The girl slowly approached, examined the prince from head to toe, and then said she was Sarah's younger sister, and hoped he wouldn't tell her sister. Charles readily agreed, but as soon as she turned to leave, he betrayed her secret. This seemingly trivial incident would eventually become the beginning of the girl's nightmare. Meanwhile, at Downing Street, the Conservative Party won the general election, and the Iron Lady, Margaret Thatcher, became Britain's first female prime minister. As usual, she had to be received by the Queen. However, the first meeting between the two women was not pleasant. Elizabeth predicted her cabinet would hardly have any women, and Thatcher agreed, even saying that women are usually unsuitable for high office, prone to being emotional. The Queen understood immediately, and subtly retorted, hinting that she was the exception. That evening at home, Thatcher told her husband she thought she and the Queen would get along very well. The scene shifts to Charles. At this time, he was fishing in Iceland, planning to secretly meet Camilla in a few days. When his great-uncle Mountbatten learned of this, he called Charles to remind him, hoping he would turn back from his path and not entangle himself with a married woman. Unexpectedly, Charles ignored him completely, even angrily accusing Mountbatten of being a traitor.
Watching my back, but when the chips are down, you're just a quizzer.
And they parted on bad terms. Charles hung up the phone directly. Mountbatten still couldn't rest, so he wrote a letter and had the butler send it to him. Then he went out to sea with his family to catch lobsters. No one could have predicted that their small boat would be attacked by a bomb. The illustrious Marshal of the British Empire passed away thus. When the news reached Iceland, Charles was deeply grieved. He immediately abandoned his vacation and prepared to return. On the plane, he went through his great-uncle's letters, in which Mountbatten earnestly advised, "You should shape your own destiny and find a princess beloved by the people. This is both a duty and a responsibility."